Gamers are a dedicated bunch, and more than a few of us have sunk tons of time into a game. A lot of the time, it's for the love of it, and sometimes it's for unlocks. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 unlocks that took more than 100 hours. Starting off with number 10, the shiny charm from Pokemon Black and White 2. In most games, completion rewards tend to be kind of pointless, right? They're more or less bragging rights than anything else, but in this game, your rewards are actually pretty good. The shiny charm increases your chances of a shiny Pokemon appearing. And remember, these are the rarest of rare Pokemon for people who really do want to catch them all. It's an item that increases your chances of completing that task, and that's gonna be a big thing for you. It takes a really long time to actually get, though. In newer games with fewer Pokemon, the shiny charm isn't as hard to get, but in the first entry of the series where you could get one, Pokemon Black and White 2, it took between 150 and 200 hours to complete the game and fill out the National Pokedex. Now, this is the National Dex we're talking about here, so you need to get more than all the Pokemon in this one game. You also have to transfer over ones from previous games. That means you need almost all the Pokemon who don't appear in Black and White 2, but from Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. So if you want a shiny charm in this game, oof, you have got your work cut out for you. And number 9 is Crash 4's secret ending. If you want to see the final secret ending in Crash 4, and yeah, there's more than one secret ending, you have to beat the game with 106% completion. Now, in older games in the series, that wouldn't be that much of a tall order. They can usually be completed in under 20 hours, but Crash 4 is a game that at very least gives completionists maybe too much to do. Completion times are all over the place on howlongtobeat.com. Some people have managed to get 106% in 45 hours, but for the majority of submissions, it takes at least 100 to finish everything, and that's if you're lucky. What makes this game in particular so difficult is that you have to break every single box in every level, collect all the gems, do it without dying, and get the platinum speed trophies on top of that. In the older games, the platinum trophies were just for bragging rights because they were really incredibly hard to get, but in this one, you have to get them all to get the secret ending. That's not even the end of that. Beating all the main levels is just step 1. You have to finish the flashback tape levels, the inverted levels of every single stage, just to make things like a massive pain. And you have to get these things called insanely perfect relics, where you have to collect all the gems in every level without dying even once. It's an almost insurmountable challenge, best summed up by this anonymous comment on How Long to Beat. If you completed this game at 106 more than once, please go to rehab. And number 8 is all 5 museum posters from Animal Crossing New Horizons. The Animal Crossing games aren't really the kind of game you can finish, but one of the more obvious completionist challenges in the game comes from the museum. It's a place that will display items that are donated to it, and if you manage to fill out each wing, you'll earn a poster to show off your accomplishment. It's not much of a reward, really, especially considering how much work it can take to totally fill out the exhibit, but at least you get something for all your trouble. There were 5 wings to the museum in New Horizons that display bugs, fish, paintings, art, and fossils, and you'll need to get all of them if you want to fill out your museum. You can't just go out and find this stuff wherever you want. Only a small amount of bugs and fish will actually show up on your island at any given time, so if you want them all, you need to be very patient or very thorough. The times for completion vary pretty wildly. I've seen somebody rush to try to finish it as fast as possible, taking about 61 hours, while for other people it's like 375, 395, 450, I even saw 760 hours. And that's so much time spent on a single task. It's the sort of thing that can take a very, very long time to complete. All those hours for like a few lousy posters, too. I hope that was worth it to you. And number 7 is Gran Turismo 4's Model T. Gran Turismo's license tests are infamous. Getting the required times on some of these challenges can be brutally hard, but it can be so satisfying when you finally finish them as well. These games are known for being fully featured, but maybe the most gigantic game in the series is Gran Turismo 4 on the PlayStation 2, a game where completion rates start at 100 hours and only go up from there. If you want to get the Ford Model T, which is actually a pretty cool reward, then you'll need to get a gold in the Super License tests, which are the final ones. It should come as no surprise that those are incredibly tough, and just to get there, you'll need to put in some serious time into the game. That's to unlock the Model T, too, not even for 100% completion. The car itself is basically as useless as you would expect, but as far as rewards go, it's one of the more interesting ones on the list. It's basically a gimmick, but it's really cool to have. Getting 100% completion gets you a more conventional reward than a Formula car, but that'll take even longer. Gran Turismo 4 is a massive game, and if you want to unlock everything in it, you have to put in some serious hours. At number 6 is the 100 hours playtime achievement from Beautiful Katamari. Maybe the dumbest and most pointless unlock on this list. We've mostly been avoiding achievements so far because seriously, an achievement really doesn't count as a legitimate unlock, but this one's so blunt, we have to give it a bit of a mention. It is an achievement that is as simple as it gets. You play the game for 100 hours. In something like an MMO or whatever that can easily be played for thousands of hours, that would not be a big deal, but this is Beautiful Katamari. A game that can be finished in like a few hours. It's not a long one. Good one, not a long one. But if you get this achievement, it means you've played it for a long time. Like, you're gonna wait. It's not gonna be as simple as just having the in-game clock roll over to 100 hours either. Of course, that would be way too simple. You have to actually complete whatever level you're on before it registers the time it takes. And of course, there is no in-game way to check your hours played, so you're just gonna have to keep track of it in your head. Time isn't your only concern either. Beautiful Katamari is an Xbox 360 game, so just leaving your console running for dozens of hours at a time can seriously risk triggering the red ring of death. You'd think a basic playtime achievement wouldn't be that hard, but this game somehow found a way to make the thing as painful as it can be. And number 5 is Binding of Isaac Repentance, the Sacred Orb. With each expansion, the Binding of Isaac is a game that just gets longer and longer with more stuff to unlock, more characters to use, and more bosses to fight. There's some ridiculous stuff locked away if you got the patience to get it, and it's going to take a lot of patience to get the Sacred Orb. To unlock it, you have to beat the Beast, tainted as the Lost, which if you don't know, the game sounds normal, but if you do, you know how, very hard it is. For one thing, the Beast is the true final boss of the game, and getting them is the biggest ordeal. Tainted Lost is an alternate version of the Lost that can only be found by reaching home, the final and most secret area, while carrying 3 special keys and accessing a special room. That means you have to get all the way to the secret final zone with a character that has no health, not just once, but twice at least. That alone is an incredible challenge that most players probably won't get close to reaching. And having to do it on top of all the other stuff you have to do just to reach home is nuts. Binding of Isaac is another game where completion times are just all over the map. From 186 hours with all characters unlocked to 330 arrows with some tainted unlocks, so they might not have even bothered to get the Sacred Orb. Either way, if you want this particular item, it is going to take some serious work to get it. At number 4 is Final Fantasy XI's Fishing Pond with Liu Shang. We eventually had to get an MMO on this list. Games don't have a lot of stuff like this. They don't get more time consuming than an MMO. Final Fantasy XI, even more so. There's a few activities in these games that are better for wasting time than fishing. And this game must know that because this reward and quest, they're basically laughing at you. It's called the Rivalry, and your task is simple. Gather 10,000 carp. That'll get you the Liu Shang fishing rod, which is apparently a pretty useful rod, but it is in no way the effort that it takes to get that many fish. The worst thing about it is you can't even just buy all the fish you need in an auction house. There won't be even close to enough listings for a basic moat carps on there. Final Fantasy XI, even for an MMO, is infamous for grinding, but this takes it even further. I can't even find any specific numbers out there for this quest, but it can easily take hundreds of hours just by itself. Hell, the Final Fantasy XI wiki, there's a guide for fishing that literally says you shouldn't even bother with fishing. The best thing about this quest, though, isn't the rod you get for finishing it, it's the testimonial, which says, "This certifies that you have gathered no less than 10,000 carp. Please spend time in your manner more beneficial to society. Your achievement is noteworthy for its utter lack of meaning." And that sums it up, I think. And number 3 is a full set of 5-star gems from Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal is a game that's generating a lot of anger on the internet today, and a lot of it has to do with how it's introducing a lot of PC gamers to the kind of predatory microtransactions that are common on iOS and Android games, and for people not accustomed to it, it's pretty shocking. A common tactic in these kinds of games is to make it so everything can theoretically be earned by just playing the game for free, like 5-star gems, which is one of the most important resources for the end game. These things are really powerful. Slotting them into your equipment gives them a massive boost, but they're also very rare. So much so that players literally spend thousands of dollars trying to get them and come up with nothing. So even if you pay to win, getting these gems is not easy. Doing it for free, though, is even tougher. According to some calculations I've seen online, if you want to get a full set of 5-star gems, it'll take you about 6 months of pure grinding, and that's only if you're specifically trying to get the gems. Even with all that, you're still not going to be able to upgrade the 5-star gems to level 10. Apparently, that's basically impossible playing for free. But at least it's possible to get a complete set of 5-star gems. You just have to play the game consistently for 6 months straight. And number 2 is RuneScape's Completionist Cape, another MMO, another pointless completionist reward. RuneScape is somehow still going strong, but even people who have been playing this game for more than a decade actually aren't all going to have this thing. The Completionist Cape is exactly what it sounds like. You get it when you've completed the game, which means finishing all of the major content. You'll need max level, you'll need all skills trained to max, you got to complete all the quests and tracks, unlock all the music, and even more. It's basically a way to show off that you've done everything there is to be done in the game, which is no easy feat. If that's not enough for you, then there's actually more you can do. There's a trimmed version of the Completionist Cape where you have to do even more if you want to get it. If you've got time to waste, apparently RuneScape is the game to play. And finally, at number 1, unlocking all the champions in League of Legends for free. This is about as ridiculous as it gets. League of Legends follows a pretty standard model for these types of free-to-play Dota games, where there's tons of characters to unlock, and for most people, they just go for the few that look interesting to them. Getting them just isn't in the cards for most people, because realistically, you're not going to be using all these characters anyways. If you do want to unlock all the characters, it's going to take serious investment of either time or money, and while the cost is nothing to sneeze at, the time investment is just straight up insane. According to Reddit user Dreams My Savior, from a thread about 2 years ago, it's going to take about 146 days playing League of Legends, about 5 hours a day, to unlock all the characters in the game. That's around 730 hours total, and that number is only going up because they keep adding champions to the game. Now, this is assuming you're spending no money whatsoever, not even the battle passes. If you get those and play the game consistently, it won't take nearly as long, but if you're playing completely free, it's going to take a very long time from start to finish. For many players, it's taken multiple years of playing to unlock all the champions, and even though it's kind of unnecessary, it's still something some people want to do, even if the time it takes is excessive. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on GameRanx.